So you're going to cancelling my local elections, but yet for the next year or two you want me to pay council tax. No taxation without representation. I have no say in it. I don't know how they'll get away with it.
We've heard about them threatening to scrap council elections in Kent, Essex, Lancashire, Hertfordshire and Sussex. Did you know those are all Tory strongholds?
Yeah.
So what we've got now is a Labour Party threatening to scrap council elections in areas where their opposition is in power to protect their opposition's council seats. If that isn't an example of the Uni Party at work, I don't know what is.
I see more into it than that. I don't think it's about protecting, well, it's protecting the Uni Party to a certain extent. It's not coordinated protection, so they're not in league together doing this. So what happens is there's hundreds of councils that are having their borders changed in the next year or two. So if what they're saying, which I disagree with, what they're saying is if we elect councillors today, in May, a year from now, we're going to be changing the borders, which means we have to hold new elections. That's going to cost the councillors money. It's unfair. Councils waste that much money, then this was a different type of waste. You're right, most of them are Tory held, but even though it's Tory held, there will be Labour councillors in those councils, and there may be Labour people standing who will not win the seats, but are Labour representatives anyway. What the Labour government don't want is for those local elections to show how far low the vote for them has dropped and how high reform have gone up. Labour, you're right, Labour would rather have those councils stay Tory, because at least it wasn't Reform winning them, because we're trying to keep a lid on how well Reform do. And they also don't want to see their vote in areas they've got no chance of winning. They don't want to see that vote dropping as well. But this is all about protecting the Labour Party and the optics of how many votes they lose at the coming local elections. So they may turn around and say, Labour have lost 5,000 councillors at the next elections in May. But if we'd not have cancelled those elections, we would have lost 7,500 councillors. So even though it's bad for us, we've kept the figures lower than they would have been.
Right.
And Reform might win 3,000 councillors, but if we would have had those elections, they would have won 4,500. So it's all about optics of trying to keep the numbers.
Yeah, the overall numbers.
The winnings and the losing as low as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think they'll be able to go ahead with that. I don't think the public will have it.
I hope not.
So you're going to cancelling my local elections, but yet for the next year or two you want me to pay council tax. I have no say who runs my council, but yet you're still taking tax off me. That's no representation. That's no taxation without representation. I have no say in it. I don't know how they'll get away with it.
Yeah, it's a good point actually. Yeah, I mean that's well, hopefully people will protest if anything starts to happen. Just while we're on Labour, I wanted to talk about.
But the Tories won't protesting because they're going. We're going to do.
The Tories won't. No, that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying it stinks of the Uni Party to me.